Hey, I'm Dr. Sharon Thompson. I wish I were meeting you face to face. This will have to do for now. I am so pleased that you're taking facilitation skills this term. I wish that I were seeing you and we could interact. I want to tell you a little bit about myself as an introduction and then give you a few little tidbits that I would give you in lecture about the first few chapters of our textbook. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about me. I've been at Troy University for 11 years, and before that, I had a whole wide variety of jobs working with Chick-fil-A corporate, teaching at William Carey University, and many other things. So it's been a really great journey for me. My areas of specialty are play therapy, trauma, and group, and I get to teach quite a few of those at Troy. I'm EMDR trained, I'm a registered play therapist, and I also work with a lot of clients from different cultures. So I've had the privilege of being in 48 countries over the course of my career, training counselors, helping clients, and doing all kinds of things. So I'd love to hear your story too, and if we continue with this coronavirus, I'll ask you eventually to do a little intro and post it to our Canvas. So let's dive in. Chapter 1 is really an introduction to our text, and it tells us a little bit about how the text is going to go. So this text is written on the narrative model of therapy. You may remember that from Dr. Small's class. I'm sure you do. And the basic tenet of that kind of therapy is relationship, story and strengths, goal, restory, and action. So first, we want to build the relationship with the client, and that all has to do with rapport building. So what we talk about in our field is if you don't have rapport, it doesn't matter what else happens because you don't have that relationship with the client. The next part is the story and strengths. We know that the client is the author of their story, they're the expert of their story, and so we want to hear their story. What is it that brought them to counseling? What are the strengths that they've used to conquer the issue before? Because we know things that worked for them in the past we maybe can use again. Then we want to look at the goal. What is their goal? What is the thing that they want to achieve by being here? We'll set a therapeutic goal or 2 or 3 with the client and move towards that goal. Then we want to think about restory. We have our goal now, and so the restory part is what are those action steps we're going to take to get to that goal. So if we have a client who is having high anxiety, our goal might be to reduce their anxiety by 80% by the end of our time together. Some action steps we might take are using cognitive behavioral therapy towards working towards reducing the anxiety. We might use EMDR. We might talk about exposure therapy and exposing them briefly to those things that cause them to be anxious, or role playing, practicing in session with us situations that are anxiety provoking. Finally, after that, then the action part is, again, we want the client to take action. For us as clinicians, this is where the homework piece comes in. We give them something each session to do. Just like when you go to your medical doctor, you want to leave with something to do, with a prescription, with a plan. Our clients want that too. So every single session, we want to give them just a little something to do to help them move forward. In the first session, obviously, we may not have a lot of information to go on. And so we can do simple things that we know will make a change for them, like asking them to keep a gratitude journal. We know from research if someone for 30 days writes down 3 things they're thankful for, we can see a reduction in depression. We know that every time, so that's always a great assignment. We know that sometimes just noticing behavior can make a huge difference for our clients, or concretely making one small change in their lives. So these are things we want to do each time, and that's the basis for the narrative model of counseling.